messing up. Oh, I gotta get in the camera.
Get in the camera.
Taking a picture. What's good? What's good, people? This is the Be More Open podcast. I'm your host, Ron.
I'm Rolanda.
And we bringing you another episode of the Be More Open podcast. This week will be anxiety and panic attacks.
Yes, because y'all know we're doing a whole mental health month.
Yeah.
So every week we breaking down like a different topic or different, not a different topic, but a different form of mental illness. Mental health. Yeah. Same thing, same difference. It makes it matter.
So anxiety is not always related to underlying conditions. It may be caused by stress, emotional trauma, financial concern, stress caused by chronic or serious medical condition, a major event or performance, side effects of certain medication, alcohol consumption, drugs such as cocaine, and lack of oxygen.
Wow, I didn't know. I didn't know that. Wait, what you just say? Alcohol. I didn't know that can cause anxiety. I didn't know. It was a couple things you just named that I.
Yeah, say a major event or performance.
So I know. Yeah, that
you know, what I'm saying
sure.
Somebody get real. Side effects of certain medications, alcohol consumptions, drugs such as coke. That damn coke. Lack of oxygen. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm scratching like one.
Oh man, that's a side effect. Oh man, but yeah, it's a whole lot of you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of stuff with that. We got like 2 little short clips, and we also got 2 callers that's gonna call in and talk about what we talking about today. So we might go over a little bit or whatever, you know what I'm saying. But stay tuned with us.
Definitely, y'all.
We doing something different this week. We broadcasting live off of YouTube. So to the Facebook people, we didn't share it on there. So you know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they can just log on from Facebook and
I shared it in the Be More Open
Oh, okay, cool.
in the Be More Open page. So you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to check it and it's on you.
Okay. So look, no, seriously. So I don't know if anybody, like, he read some of the symptoms and stuff of anxiety and panic attacks, and that's a part of depression, and not a part of depression, that's a part of mental illness. But for me, I don't know if you've never ever experienced panic attacks with anxiety. And see, that's where I kind of get confused too. And if any of y'all listening, for y'all that can't see the number, well, no, we don't really need callers because we have 2 callers.
Yeah, we have 2 callers, yeah.
But, you know, y'all can write down in the box, in a comment box, because if I get anxiety and panic attacks confused, because sometimes I think it's the same thing, but I think somebody said it's 2 different things. Okay, so I think anxiety is the issue, and then
of being anxious,
and the panic attack is the effect. I mean,
well,
anxiety is like the cause, and I think panic attack is the effect of you being anxious.
Well, it's something they go hand in hand. They like all underneath the same thing. I got the little clips. Once we play the little clips, matter of fact, we're gonna go in the clip, and then we're gonna come back.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to talk about, like, I'll wait till you finish.
Okay.
Because with it. And y'all can't see the clip.
When it comes to anxiety disorders, there is no one type. Each form of anxiety has its own set of symptoms and treatments. It is important to remember that, while some symptoms will overlap, no 2 anxiety disorders are alike. This list aims to bring attention to the 5 major anxiety disorders and what they mean for the sufferers. We at Psych2Go hope to bring awareness to the growing number of anxiety sufferers and their needs. So, without further ado, here's 5 anxiety disorders, as well as their symptoms and treatments. Number 1. Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, or OCD. Obsessive Compulsive Disorder technically has 2 components, the obsessions and the compulsions. Obsessions can encompass anything from a severe fear of germs to the placement of things around the home and many things in between. The compulsions are what the sufferer does to rid themselves of those obsessive thoughts. Someone who has obsessions about germs may ritually wash their hands or carry hand sanitizer everywhere they go. Someone who has obsessive thoughts about the placement of objects might arrange and rearrange their belongings until they feel just right. These obsessions and compulsions can become very intrusive and disruptive to the sufferer's daily life. As far as treatments for OCD go, there are a couple. There are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors such as fluoxetine sertraline. These medications are meant to help alleviate the symptoms for the sufferer so that they are at a manageable and less disruptive level. The other widely used treatment is psychotherapy. With this, you might run into cognitive behavioral therapy that will be used to help the sufferer essentially reprogram their response to obsessions and compulsions. For the most part, medications and therapies are used in tandem to get the best results. Number 2. Generalized Anxiety Disorder. Generalized Anxiety Disorder, or GAD, is a bit unlike the other anxiety disorders on this list. Those who suffer from GAD aren't always able to give a reason for their symptoms. In fact, one of the symptoms is a general feel of restlessness or unease. They may also experience worry as one of the symptoms. Everyone worries from time to time, but GAD causes the sufferer to eternalize those worries and take them to an entirely new level. They may think of them in an obsessive manner, which will cause a downward spiral of other symptoms, such as a disturbance in sleep patterns. The treatments available for GAD are similar to those of OCD, medications, and therapy, though in this case, the medications may be benzodiazepines and antidepressants, rather than the run-of-the-mill SSRIs. Cognitive behavioral therapy is used with GAD as well as relaxation techniques and mindfulness. Number 3. Social Anxiety Disorder. Those with social anxiety disorder experience panic attacks related to social situations. This can manifest in a fear of public speaking or stage fright and can be so severe that they avoid going into public altogether. Social anxiety can also have symptoms of severe self-consciousness and a general fear of being around others. Someone with social anxiety might find it hard to speak when other people are present, even if they aren't addressing the crowd as a whole. Social anxiety is mainly treated with SSRIs and therapy. As we stated before, just because a treatment option looks similar from one anxiety to another, it isn't going to be the same. Each sufferer presents their own needs that must be taken into account. Each therapy isn't going to work the same for each individual. Personalization of treatment is key in these situations. Number 4. Panic Disorder. Unlike the other anxiety disorders on this list, panic disorder rests solely on panic attacks. With many other anxiety disorders, panic attacks are just another symptom. When it comes to panic disorder, those attacks are the symptom. Panic disorder is characterized by recurrent panic attacks. The sufferer may experience heart palpitations, a racing pulse, an intense fear, and the feeling that they are hopelessly out of control. There isn't a rhyme or reason to many of these attacks, so the sufferer is essentially lying in wait for the next one to come. Panic disorder can be treated in many ways. The medications used are some that we've heard of, such as benzodiazepines and SSRIs. We are also introduced to serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors, or SNRIs, and beta blockers. These medications, as with OCD, are often used in conjunction with therapy to help maximize the usefulness of each. Number 5. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, can be diagnosed in anyone. For the most part, you have probably heard it when someone speaks about veterans or police officers. While those careers have a higher rate of PTSD, it is in fact true that anyone can be diagnosed with it. PTSD is the result of a very traumatic event or series of events. This leaves the sufferer with flashbacks and night terrors where they feel as if they are right back in the event again. The sufferer may also suffer from panic attacks as well as phobias associated with people, places, or even sounds. Medications such as fluoxetine venlafaxine may be used in the treatment of PTSD. Therapies such as prolonged exposure, cognitive processing therapy, and brief eclectic psychotherapy may be utilized as well. Again, this is a situation where the use of medications and therapy together can help give a better outcome than just one alone. It is important to note that those with PTSD can lash out in certain situations, but there is no need to be afraid of the sufferers. There is nothing inherently dangerous about them. In fact, those with mental illness are exponentially more likely to be the victims of violent crimes than they are to be the perpetrator. This is not a complete list of the different anxiety disorders out there by any means, nor is it completely comprehensive in each description. There are many kinds of anxiety, these just happen to be the most talked about and diagnosed at this particular moment. Regardless of which anxiety disorder the diagnosis is for, it is important to remember that the sufferer is in need of help and acceptance. You don't have to understand anxiety to be able to offer an ear to talk to, or some words to keep them grounded in the moment. Remind the sufferer that they are alright, that what they are feeling are just symptoms of their anxiety, and that it will pass if given the time. Aside from that, just make sure that they know you are there with them, and wait it out. Do you suffer from one or more of the disorders listed? Share your story in the comments below. On a different note, Psych2Go is now selling t-shirts. Links will be in the description below.
Hello?
Hey y'all.
Yeah. So like the last part, like what we were saying on the last show is like if you see somebody suffering from these type of you know what I'm saying, symptoms and stuff, help them. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? Help the people. Don't be like shaming them and oh yo something fucking wrong with him and all that stuff. If you can help somebody, help them.
Yeah. And anxiety, going through those, me myself, I personally have dealt with them. And like I was saying, if you've never ever been through it, you'll never ever understand. You'll never ever understand its feeling. And when I was dealing with it, I really don't know what caused it. But like they say when you have anxiety, I know just in your mind, it's like you're constantly concerned and thinking about the future. You're constantly thinking about like for prime example, bills. Damn, next month I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that, I gotta pay this. How am I gonna pay that? Like you're constantly thinking about that. You're constantly thinking about it. It's like we're constantly thinking about things in the future or worrying about things that we think that's gonna happen. It's probably not even gonna happen. And it's like she was saying about your heart. Those are some of the signs. Literally every day for almost a month and a half, I went to the ER. Every day, it was nothing my husband could tell me. It was nothing that the EMTs would come because they knew me by this point by coming to my house every day because my heart would start beating real fast. I would get out of breath. I couldn't breathe. I would just feel real clammy and sweaty. I would get hot and cold, and it would be nothing. It would be nothing nobody could do to tell me I was not dying.
Yeah.
I needed to be in a hospital. I literally called them every day for almost 45 days straight. And, they tested you for everything. They tested me for everything. And every time I would go, of course, nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. And, one time they tried to give me the Xanny bars for anxiety and stuff. And I didn't want to take it. The first time I tried it, it's like I slept all day.
Wow.
After that, I didn't take it anymore. Like, I didn't take them anymore because I was kind of scared of being addicted to that too, being as though I had already before been addicted to, the opioids.
Okay.
So it's real. It's so scary.
So what the Xanny ball is supposed to do? What they supposed to do?
I guess it calls you from not being anxiety. It stops your anxiety. To me, it just makes you sleep.
That's all?
Anybody else that I've talked to that taking the pills, they say that's all it makes you do is sleep.
Like
you
sleep.
Just sleep. But I didn't. I spoke with the therapist and she was telling me to try to learn your triggers, try to learn different things, or because you can now, like my brother have it as well, and I hope he's watching because he can write in the comments too. Once you get used to it, you can kind of tell when it's coming on because you'll start getting this feeling like either maybe your heart might start beating real fast. So what they tell you to do is a lot of people breathe into the paper bags. But that wasn't really good for me. So I would try to either listen to music is good, watch something funny, or a lot of people like myself and my brother too, it might be like just this one person. As long as they're around or you can talk to them, it straight calms you down. It puts you at ease. But it's bad. It is so bad. It is so bad. It's like one of the worst things. Like you really think you're dying and it's nothing nobody can
wrong
do
with you.
or nothing it's definitely nothing wrong with you, but it's nothing nobody can do or say to make you think otherwise.
Because they got little things like saying what you probably need to do, like exercise, maintain a positive attitude, get enough sleep, learn what triggers, like you saying, anxieties and alienated.
I think that really helps with
eat well balanced diets. Practice relaxation techniques such as yoga. Stop smoking and consuming of caffeine drinks, caffeinated drinks.
See, and I do not all of that, but like for example, I don't really eat good. I'm not eating vegetables every day. I don't drink water, like I'm supposed to drink water.
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping. I probably get about a good 4 hours of sleep a day. Like seriously, this is 7 days a week. I don't go to bed until at least 2-3 o'clock in the morning every night, and I'm back up early 8 in the morning, or sometimes earlier. That just depending on the day, but I'm always right back up. So I'm getting about 4 hours of sleep a day, and it's just like I'm not really taking care of myself. So that can definitely probably play a big part into it.
Yeah, it does. I can say a lot. Like far as I've been like changing my diet, and I really was suffering from acid reflux, real bad. And since I didn't change my diet, I don't even bother me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the acid reflux. And also, too, is like, I don't know, my whole thinking and everything. Because, I had a colonoscopy. I don't even want to jump out the subject. But colonoscopy, and for any guys that's out there that's over 40 or 45 and older or going to 50, man, go get a colonoscopy, man. Go get checked out. Important. Man, you know what I'm saying? You talking about that, putting something in your ass shit, you know what I'm saying? All that dumb shit. Would you have cancer in your ass? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? That really don't make no sense to me.
To me, that's just ignorance.
You know what
Some
I'm saying?
people
Yeah,
say-
you
'cause I
know,
hear a
but,
lot of
you know,
guys, and
people
not
be,
to,
yeah.
like you said, to go too much off the topic. A lot of guys say things like that, but that just lets me know that you're very ignorant. You're very immature, because any grown man, you're gonna want to say, like, you're not even thinking about that.
I
That's
know.
not even coming
I
to
was
your
thinking about my
mind.
house. I was so glad when they say, you're clear, Mr. Barrett. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of walking around and living with something that you don't have, you know what I'm saying? That's like with, even if you know, have these mental, you know, illness, take care of yourself, like you said. You know what I'm saying? You know, get enough sleep, stay away from, you know.
Yeah, anxiety is real.
Yeah.
Anxiety
Yeah,
is real. Like,
yeah.
we get so nervous. So many, especially now with like a lot of the crime going on in the world, a lot of people getting anxiety. People are scared. You go outside, you get nervous. You don't want to do anything. That a lot of things like that causes anxiety.
But the thing about it, I suffered from that shit from as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And I really never knew. And y'all might like, damn, this motherfucker. I ain't know what that shit was until like a couple days when I started reading it. And I'm like, yo, that's the same shit I do. You know what I'm saying? Same thing I do. And then it's another type of thing. Like, I'll go in a place and I'll sit there and I'll be scared to leave the motherfucker.
What you mean?
I just be like, if I go in a room full of people, even if I want to just go ahead and leave, I don't just go ahead and leave because I'm thinking they looking at me, or you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I'll stay there for a long time when I've been wanting to leave this. You know what I'm saying?
I've had that phobia before.
Yeah, and I forgot the name of it.
Called.
It's on one of these clip things, right? That
like
I had.
OCD. Yeah, like I was telling you, I didn't know OCD was a form of mental illness. But I didn't know that. And you know, again, my husband had that. Like, he just gotta clean up. He gotta clean up. No matter where he go, clean up.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. But I guess mentally in your mind, that's something in your mind that's just making you.
Yeah, man. It was like, and far as the things, I blow a lot of stuff out of proportion. My wife could tell you that. I have done that so many times. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, puts a scenario in my head and made it up and felt it like it was real. And that shit wasn't even as worse as what the hell, you know what I'm saying? I put into it, you know what I'm saying? I really, you know, oh man. But
and that's it. That's why I'm telling you, I be saying our mind is a battlefield.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's the war. We be really fighting.
And it just tripped me out that something that's on your body, man, that can be dangerous if you don't learn how to control it.
And guess what? No matter how much we sit here and we talk about it, and people can be listening, and myself included, we still go home and don't do, you know what I'm saying? And won't do what's right. It's like we'll know it. We have, even for us to have the knowledge, we have access to all the health knowledge, all the, you know, just everything. We have access to all this information, and we know this, and still won't do it. To me, is that a mental illness? Because like with my situation, you know, I'm dealing with the stomach.
Yeah, with the stomach.
And my doctor keeps saying every month when I go see her, Rolanda, I know you have to drink water. You have to incorporate this water. And it's like I'll do it for 2 days and then like right back off to not drinking no water.
But you know, I'm surprised. I've been like that too. But I've been staying on my little regimen for a minute. Like,
guess what? Because
the food.
Ready.
No, you know what? Dude, the food scared the shit out of me. I was watching all these tutorials about what we eat. What we eat, that shit will kill you. You know
and see, and you know that's why they say that thing with the health.
What the health? Yeah, I seen that before. Yeah,
really made a lot of people turn.
Yeah, I watched a lot of stuff, man. It was like for us with the cows, milk, the cows, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Even though I still just eat chicken and fish right now, but I'm eating a lot of like vegetables. My vegetable intake is real high.
I'ma try.
You know what I'm saying, and also too, like what they were saying about far as with panic attack, as far as like meditation. I've been meditating a whole lot.
I meant to say that meditating.
You know
I'm not gonna lie to you, Tanika. You know the girl Tanika. She years ago when I was having a panic attack, because she's a big, you know, she deals with that. I don't know if she still deal with it, but I know she was as well too. Yeah. And she was the one got me into doing that. Meditation definitely helps. And like at night, I used to play because they have even the meditation music. You just let the music flow.
But you know what? It's not. I was watching this thing. It's not really complicated to it. It's all of your breathing.
And
your breathing technique, you just gotta set up a technique, a breathing technique, and it'll calm you the fuck down. Cause I be like doing, breathing in and out my nose, or the cool breathe and stuff like that, and just, just clear your mind. Your mind will be racing.
And again,
swear to God, your mind be racing. You know what I'm saying? It be racing, but with your breathing, it'll calm you down, man. You know what I'm saying? It'll really calm you down.
And that's why they tell you
that.
do the thing with the bag.
Oh yeah, with the bag, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what they say with the bag.
Yeah.
But meditation, that's all it is, man. Get in a quiet place, you can lay down or whatever, and just control your breathing. You know what I'm saying? Out the nose, or you can go out the mouth, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Change it up, and just a pattern of breathing, man, and then just take your mind somewhere else.
And it help even if we only do it 10 minutes a day.
Yeah, exactly.
They say yoga is a really big help.
Yeah. I was thinking about trying to get into that. You know what I'm saying? Because all that stuff helps though, for real.
Does.
It's like really coming at one with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Coming at one with yourself.
And you doing a good job. Like I tell you, I'm really proud of you. Like you've really been doing great.
I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying?
No, you're not trying, you're doing it.
Yeah,
like
you know
what I'm saying? It ain't no trying, you're doing it.
Yeah.
You are. Your eating habits.
Yeah.
Your exercising. Just mentally, you doing it.
It's like I'm gonna share this real quick, right? When I got the colonoscopy or whatever, and anybody that had the what is it, the when they knock you out, what's that? Anesthesia.
Yeah.
The anesthesia worked kind of funny on me. You know what I'm saying? Because it felt like I was going out, right? But my body and my brain wasn't letting me go. You know what I'm saying? Was fighting this shit. So I'm like, damn, is this how it is when you die? You know what I'm saying? I swear to God. So I had like a near-death experience, and it like really fucked me up. And I've been thinking about that shit a lot. And I'm like, wow, if that's how it is, and it could happen like that, because, you know what I'm saying to myself, didn't have to wake up from that shit.
No, because they,
you know what I'm saying?
They put you in it's considered an induced coma.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You in that coma.
So I looked at it because, like, the thing about it, I felt myself going out. But my brain kept on, I ain't lying, I kept on saying like red sparks and shit in my head and shit. Like, it was like, I was like trying to go to sleep, but it wasn't letting me go. My body was like reacting, was fighting. Like, you know what I'm saying? If, anybody been in a situation, you know what I'm saying? It was in survival mode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got in survival mode. And it just made me think, it's like, yo, I could go any day. So I need to take every day and, you know what I'm saying, and make it the best and try to live as healthy as I can. That's what really got me. Seriously, that's what got me, because I'm like,
maybe that's what it took. Maybe
exactly.
That's what it had to take,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying, some people out there have near life experiences and don't take heed to it. You know what I'm saying.
You got people surviving cancer.
Yeah.
You got people surviving a situation like I went through. I was in a coma. Like you got people, like you said, every day. People are dealing with like people.
And that's another thing too they said about with mental health is like it may be a health condition. It may be something else going on with you, you know what I'm saying? So if everything, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to try to diagnose yourself, but go to, a professional that really can tell you what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But if you see a sign or whatever, you know what I'm saying, be safe than sorry. You know what I'm saying? It might, you know what I'm saying, you might got gas.
Be safe.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's true.
You know what I'm saying? It might be something simple as that. And you
have to get, especially men. Y'all men do not go. Men don't go to the doctors at all. Out of the 24 years that I was with my husband, I'm telling you, I can count on one hand, literally one hand, how many times he's been to the doctors. Literally, no lie. I can count on one hand. And that's less than 5 times, and that's in 24 years.
Wow.
Now the dentist, because he's very like I said, he has OCD. He's one of the cleanest men I ever seen in my life. He's very clean. Now the dentist, but as far as just a doctor physically, no, I can't. 25 years, I can't count on one hand. Can't count on one hand, and men don't do it.
No,
men don't do it. I don't know.
A lot of men don't.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of men don't with getting themselves checked out, especially the older guys.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying, I talked to, like I said, before I was talking to a lot of older guys. It's almost 6:30. Okay. I talked to a lot of older guys, and they had that phobia, like what I just said, about the scope and all that. It's always the excuse.
And see,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, if it's something gonna keep me alive, like if they tell me if I was smoking, stop smoking, gone.
It's a wrap.
You know what I'm saying? It's gone. So you know what I'm saying?
If that's my choice of life or death, that's a wrap.
That's
There's
right.
no questions. There's no questions asked, and people do it all the time though. They don't care. That's just like know this girl. She's married to this guy. He has I don't know what all of his illnesses are, but I know he's carrying around an oxygen machine. The oxygen, he actually have to permanently have one 24/7. And you sitting there on a bus stop with an oxygen tank smoking a cigarette. Are you crazy? Like seriously. You sitting there smoking a cigarette with an
oxygen flammable? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Mental illness is real.
Yeah, it's pretty much real. It's pretty much real.
I can't believe it, y'all. But that's so many people I can tell you about. Just and then again, even with myself, like Rolanda, you know, you got this stomach issue. You need to drink water.
Yeah,
no, nothing else but water. Why is it so hard to pick up that? I mean, I got a bottle in my purse, but that's where it's at in my purse.
But you know what? Once you
that's a mind thing.
Yeah, once you start doing it. Because I haven't, it hadn't been that long since I drunk soda. Last soda I drunk was, I think, December 26th.
And it's not even soda. I just drink coffee.
You guys, that caffeine.
That's the thing.
But I stopped drinking sodas like the 26th of December. But you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just like you just gotta get in the mood, like
discipline,
like your everyday thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's the thing.
And like
you know
my life exists and depend on it.
Because now I go in stores and like I can't fuck with that. I can't fuck with that.
And
you know what I'm saying? I can't mess with that.
I honestly want to be at that place. I promise you, and I'm not just
saying
it, but I do. I do.
You will. You will put it like that.
I need that discipline.
I need
that.
You will. You will. You know what I'm saying?
That. But look, I know it's getting, and thank you.
Yeah,
thank
you
for
will.
The support. But no, seriously, for real, because I really want to, and it takes is learned behavior. I have to learn it because we wasn't brought up eating, you know what I'm saying, eating healthy like that. So it's like even with me raising my kids, I back then we ate out more than I cooked. So now even with my daughter, I sit and see her like, no, you need to cook, because I be mad like, no, but they eat out like 3 times a day, 7 days a week. That's not good.
Remember, I was doing that a whole lot too.
Yes, you was. I was telling them wrong.
Yeah.
Every night he's eating subs and wings and cold cuts.
Every night.
Like every night. But look, I know it's getting a little down the clock. You want to call one of the
call him with what?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got. I don't know that number.
Oh, you want? Can I give it to you?
Yeah. Or you want to dial it?
Yeah. How I dial it? I can dial it on there.
You dial it on the phone. Give me the phone.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right, y'all. We're gonna call one of.
We're gonna call
one of our special guests. And she's been dealing with mental illness, and she's been dealing with it for a long time. She has a story, and we'll introduce her when she
Yeah, you got the 410.
Oh, all right.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
I hear it in my ear. I hope I dialed the right number. Yes. Hi. Good evening.
Hold on.
This is
Hello.
Rolanda. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's Rolanda and Rome from BMORE Open.
Hello, how are you? I got hurt. My phone. My phone will cut off. I got 5 minutes. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We good. So we was doing a topic on mental illness. So we was calling you to talk to you a little bit about your story and what you've been dealing with and how you're dealing with it daily, and if you wanted to share a little bit your story with us.
Sure. Well, I can do this last month. I've been going through it. I lost my cousin, her daughter, 2 weeks apart, my godson, and also my nephew and my son. My son was killed on December the 17th, and pretty much I'm stuck at that day, to be honest. And it's hard. It's very hard, because I don't, some days I don't know if I want to work through it. It's hard.
Right.
It's hard.
And
and I can't. If you never lost a child before, you would never know that feeling. And I said to myself, I'm like, I'm not using no kid, but when it happened, it seemed so surreal. Like I feel like I can still call him. I feel like I can smell him.
right. And you was
Like in
all
it.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and you was already kind of like dealing with like mental illness and anxiety and stuff like that too already, right? Prior to that
Alrighty.
happen.
Yeah. I've been dealing with that since a young child. I've been molested. I went through the molestation things. I had chlamydia at 5. So it was like, it was just back to back to back to back to back. It's like, when do I get a break? Like, it's hard, and you don't get that break. So I try to work through it. I put a smile on my face, but don't nobody know how broken on the inside I am. Like, really broken.
You gotta do
Trust.
therapy.
I suffer with trust issues.
Definitely.
My mother gave her kids up for adoption. All of us. So it's like, okay, I know 2 of my sisters and 1 of my brothers. With the rest of them. Like, it's a struggle, and mental illness is real. So anybody that really thinks that it's not real, it's real. You go into this deep, dark place. It's like a dark bubble, and ain't nothing in that bubble. So it's like, check out. Like I didn't try to kill myself 3 times
do that.
right in the last 8 years. But nobody would know it if I didn't tell you.
And you have to tell, but that's where family and friends come into play, because if we watching and you know what I'm saying, and if you
we
know
saying
your
and
loved
going
one,
through it,
you know them changes. You gonna know them changes, and that's when we gotta step in and try to get you help. We gotta try to step in and get you help. Not only get you help, but be there and support you, and really, really support you. Like, I mean, a real kind of support. I ain't talking about financially support. I'm talking about not getting you high. Really being there. Like, really, really being there. You need therapy.
But then it's like, you don't want to tell everybody your business because people ain't doing nothing but being nosy, and then they use it against you.
Right.
So it's like, why would I tell them my business?
And that's why a lot of people say they don't talk.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
Guess that's the sense. Go to a professional. I gotta go to a professional. You know what I'm saying?
Like I got a therapist. I go to therapy and all that stuff. Like I was in a relationship before. I left and went to Miami. We had got into an argument just before I left to go to Miami. And he said, if you go to Miami, you're not going to see me no more. He called me while I was in Miami and asked me where I was at. I said, I'm in Miami. He said, you always do that. When I need you, you're never there. I came home to him, younger self. The most devastating thing in the world. And the whole time, all he was doing was crying out for help, and I didn't see it because I was in my own stuff.
And that's the question I asked last week. Remember, I said, how do you deal when you going through something yourself and you got loved ones or people that's dependent on you? Well, how do you be there for them when you dealing with your own?
You can't. You can't. That's like the blind leading the blind.
Right.
Because neither one of y'all have a clue.
Right.
Neither one of y'all have a clue. So it's like hard, like, oh man, damn, I messed up. Then you blame yourself. Like, I'm beating myself up right now, and I'm gonna be honest.
You can't do that.
I am really beating myself up on the inside because I was at work when my son got shot at 3:18 in the afternoon. And I feel like I was off of work for They might all you do is work, 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 work.
You can't blame yourself for that because guess what? If you wasn't working, you trying to work to give your child a better life. You trying to work to give your family a better life. If you wasn't working, then what?
It makes you feel like I failed him. I feel like I failed him. And I'm being, it's real honest. It's like I beat myself up because I feel like I failed him.
You can't do that.
I mean, we had got into a little disagreement about some things, and the things he said out of his mouth kind of like really messed me up a little bit.
Right.
Because, like I said, I can't, if I teach my kids, you don't have to be disrespectful, but you can tell a person how you feel. Right. Nobody can know how you feel because they are your feelings.
Right.
So you don't have to be disrespectful when you do it, but what you do have to do is respect them. So you can't go around, you can voice your opinion. Because opinion is like a butthole. Everybody have one.
Right.
It's like, it's hard. It's hard when you lose a child. I lost my mother and my father.
At a young age, right?
Yeah, my mother passed. I was 22. I never really known my father. I met him when I was 18. He didn't even know who the fuck I was.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
So it's like I ain't know what to do. Like I raised myself for real. I lived in houses with my homegirl and their families, all that.
But guess what? You still here. You still striving. You still living. You still living. You still have another child, and you doing what you got.
So it's like I'm struggling. Like I don't even know what to do. I'm at my son's funeral and my job come up to the casket. Like, are we expecting you back to work on Friday?
That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. I just lose my child and you worrying about me coming back to work in a couple days.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Ain't even wait.
That's crazy.
Ain't even wait.
That's Well, I want to say I'm really, 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 really sorry. I am really sorry, and
it's hard.
I'm trying myself not to cry because it's like just that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And
It is.
People never know what people are going through, and just everybody around you got like, yeah. Really come together and try to just really be there for you.
Like when this first happened, I ain't gonna lie, I was ready to check out. Like, fuck, what am I here for? I was about to give up. Honestly, like I'm like, I don't even want. There's no purpose of me even being here no more. My son gone. So
you can't
like,
do that. You can't.
Like you have to tell my heart that. Because it was at this point, it was like, I don't have no reason to live. Like, you took some of my lifeline. Like, anybody know how I feel about my kids and other people's kids. I don't only treat mine like mine, I treat other people's like mine, too.
Right.
So, it's like, to lose your own.
place
to
I would
lose
never
your
know.
own,
Never know that.
and then to lose somebody that you trust. Hard.
But guess what? You doing it. You doing it, and you gotta continue therapy. You definitely have to continue therapy. You gotta start putting yourself first. You and Keon first, and you gotta start
See, and that's
focusing
my,
on you, and that's it.
but that's my problem
And that's it.
because
But
I always worry about the people around me. Oh no, because so
yeah,
and so, and
yeah.
no, I like he needed his rent, so I rent and get paid, so I can't see out on the street, knowing I'm homeless as a
But you don't
motherfucker.
have it, so you can't, and you have to stop doing that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to stop doing that. You have to
And
stop
I
doing that.
know that, but it's like it's hard, like because this is instilled in me. I always been like this. Get a nigga a shirt off my back. It doesn't matter. If they don't have it, I ain't got it either, but I'm gonna make sure you warm
Right.
because that's what makes me happy. Like crazy and like and everybody like, oh, you need to change, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you have never walked in these 7.5 shoes, baby, don't you dare. You don't know my struggle. I have been homeless. I didn't, you name it, it's been done. But I still thank God every day I wake up because he didn't have to open up these two little dots on my face.
Mm.
He really did. But I thank him. You know, when my son got killed, I asked him, why? Why would you do this to me? Like, I've been doing any and everything you asked for.
This
But,
Baltimore
like, I had to
City.
realize everybody got a date. I just put my date with a little bit more time.
You kind of breaking up a little bit.
I just wish I had a little more time.
Right.
Just a little more time.
Mm.
That's it. Wish I had more time. Great. And it's always, oh, why do I need to know this question? Why do people give you cards, little $5, $10, $20 in it when somebody dies, but when they're alive, I ain't giving them $1. You don't buy flowers no other day, but soon as somebody die, oh now you want to send flowers. Like that should be something that you automatically do. Show your appreciation to people instead of when they die, or here, take this $1.
Right. Right. Rome was just saying that
Like,
last week. Like, was it last week or week before? Can't remember. Just, you gotta appreciate people while they're here. But no, I think we were talking about the Nipsey situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the Nipsey situation. Like,
How they brought it
it's
out
just
his store.
yeah.
Yeah, you saying they
Yeah.
did it when
Like,
it first
nobody
opened.
did none of that stuff while he was here. None of
Mhm.
that. None of that
right,
support. No
right.
nothing. No nothing.
Like, and it's crazy that as black people, because we as black people, we the only race that don't stick together. We always against each other. Why?
We say that all the time.
Why?
We say that all the time.
You got 90 Mexicans in the Toyota Corolla,
Huh. And ain't there one I'm complaining.
and they doing this.
Cleaning services together.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yes,
Like they doing
everything.
it for everything and sending money back home.
Exactly. Like, but us black people, we live down the street from each other all our lives. Next week, Pookie done killed Thompson.
Right.
Like, nigga, you just slept in Pookie bed.
Right. Right. I'm sorry.
Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's sad. It's sad that they took all the rights from the kids. What do they have to do?
They
Be
don't have,
honest. What is it for them to do?
they don't have anything to do. They don't have anything to do. Hang on the corners
You took it. You
or
took it.
stay in the house.
That's what they designed
That's
for
what
it to
they want,
do.
right?
Yeah, that's what they want to do. They building more prisons and
Prison.
everything like that. You know what I'm
That.
saying? Because the prisons is the new industry.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got like a lot of dudes won't work out on the street, but they'll work for what $1.25 in the jail system. So you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying now. So now the jail system is the new
Mm.
corporations. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Which they, like you said, they closing all the wrecks, closing everything down for the youth, and building more prisons so they can get. You know what I'm saying?
And they
It's
making
about that
all
money.
that money.
It's about that money.
They
That's
making
everything
almost
is
20
about money.
something $1,000 a day off of each inmate.
Yeah.
They getting rich off of
And so
locking
many
out black
corporations and
people.
companies because at one time Victoria's Secret was getting that stuff made through prison systems. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of companies that
Wow.
get prison that have prison labors, and they talk about
Wow.
sweatshops.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's all design. It's by design. Even our shit for us to be against each other. It's all by design.
And it's
Yep.
like, but
It
what
is.
is it gonna take? It's like, what is it gonna take? It's nothing else. Like it's a whole new decade. It's a whole new year. Just last night, 12 people were shot, 5 people murdered. Like, what is it gonna take for us to come together? Like, what is it?
But you know what? I say a guy was at the town hall and he made some true shit. He's like, you're not gonna stop murders, but there's a way to slow this shit down.
Like,
You know what
that's
I'm
what
saying?
I'm saying. It
You know what I'm
gotta be
saying? Slow
something.
it
Like, come on,
down.
what are
Like,
y'all
yo,
doing? Is it the
yeah, man.
drugs?
Ah,
Is it the drugs? Like, I'm being real. Now, y'all done heard my story of me being on opioids. I ain't never once had a thought of going to hurt nobody or snapping on, or doing nothing crazy. Like,
might be.
you know what
Might
I'm
be.
saying? I might have maybe made, what is it? Like, maybe may not have made great decisions on certain things, but not where I'm really harming or wanting to kill or want to be devious and
Right.
kill or steal. And like that shit ain't, excuse my language, it never made me want to do nothing like that. If anything, it was more loving.
But what we talking
Like,
about? Mental health.
mental health, yeah,
You know
yeah. That's what I'm
saying? A
saying.
lot of
Because I'm
people.
like, is it just the drugs? But you know, you got so many people quick to say, "Oh, it's them pills, it's them pills."
Mm,
I think it's more
a
than just the
combination.
pills.
Combination.
I don't mean to cut you all off, right?
Yeah,
You know what a Xanax is?
yeah. I was just talking about the Xanny bars. Yeah,
It's for mental illness.
that's I just said that.
Yeah.
That's
So
what.
you giving me this narcotic that's supposed to help me suppress my depression, but I'm not in like the market.
Right, right. And again, that's set up.
Another drug.
It's like, yeah, it's set up because
yeah.
that's what it
That's
is. And
another
look,
drug.
I just
Mm.
told Rome the first day I took it when they first gave it to me, I slept the whole day. Like that was all I did was sleep the whole day, and
Mm.
I didn't take them no more after that. And it's just like, yo, it's set up because people, I'm sure, get addicted to those too. I guess
But you know what? Every drug that's out there is something natural that can
that
cure
can
it.
cure it, right?
And you know what I'm saying? And you gotta find that information. They ain't gonna tell you that information because they want you to stay on a prescription drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
everything that's natural out there because everything on this earth is here for us. For us.
We
You know what I'm
came
saying?
from it.
Yeah,
We came from
exactly,
it.
exactly. So you know what I'm saying. So I'm researching myself and
Mm.
in these things and everything too to stop using as many
Medications and stuff.
ibuprofen for this and Tylenol for this or even trying to get my son because my son takes medication. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and try to
Right.
get him off of it. Because he takes bipolar medicine.
So my son used to take it
Mm.
taking Concerta.
Oh yeah.
Concerta.
My son was on that too. Yeah, he was on that
Taking
too.
Concerta.
He's on
But it makes
what he's on now? Depakote. He's on
Depakote?
Depakote. Yeah, he's on Depakote. Dang, I
not
forget.
a zombie.
Depakote and Tuniv.
You
He's
said
not a zombie.
Huh?
He's not a zombie. He don't just sit there and just
Nah. It's probably been in the system. He like is in the system. Nah.
All right, so listen. So my son was on Concerta, Depakote,
did you cut off?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
must
think
have.
we lost her.
next.
Oh, you.
Mm.
You have faded away.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hear you now.
All right. 2 years ago, my son was in an accident, and he was placed into a coma. He just Baltimore City Police. He was on the back of a scooter, and a policeman was in his F-250 Super Duty, had nothing else better to do but smack the back of the scooter, which the driver lost control, and they both ended up smacking the wall. My son had bleeding on the brain, had to learn how to walk, talk, everything all over again. I was a little young man, he's still alive too, but they had to take 3 pieces of his brain out of his head and put it in a freezer.
What?
And you know what happened? They charged out kids with stealing of a dirt bike. I mean, a scooter.
They black.
They got charged for stealing the scooter.
They black.
Not they was dead. Not they was dead and brought back to life. But they was charged to have with a stolen scooter.
Mm.
Nothing was done with the cop.
No, of course not.
Nothing. He was off duty. He was not on duty.
Mm-hmm.
He was off duty.
Wow.
Mm.
It's Baltimore City. It's Baltimore City,
Baltimore
and
City.
that's our black young men.
Yeah.
It's our black young men, and we have to do
Yep.
something. We have to do something. I keep just saying it, and I don't know what it is, but we have to there have to be something. And like the guy said, we're not gonna stop all murders.
Yeah, we're
but
not gonna stop
to
it,
at
but
least cut the
cut
crime
it down.
down.
You know what
Like
I'm saying? Yeah.
we haven't even been into a month already, and we almost have over 30 murders.
Wow.
And it's sad.
Wow.
It's sad. It's totally sad. Like,
Wow.
the hardest thing in my life to do was to go to the store and pick out my son's food on internet. That was the hardest thing.
I couldn't imagine. I really
I
couldn't
said
imagine.
I was in Macy's for 4 hours. I had nothing. Not one, not a sock, not a t-shirt, not nothing. The people who thought I was stealing. I stood in the middle of that floor just lost. Lost. Like, I didn't know what to get. I didn't know what to do. Like, Father, please. Like I had to say to somebody else, he wasn't there when my son was alive. What makes you think he was going to be there when his death? And I said this to him myself.
It's so sad. God got you though. God got you.
You know, and I pray.
God got you. Believe
And
it.
it's so unfortunate that I wouldn't want to wish this pain on nobody's heart. But I got a phone call that the little boy that murdered my son, somebody killed him. I'm so mad because I just wanted to ask him why. Like, why?
Wow.
Like, come on. And in my heart, I'm going to be honest, in my heart, don't even think this boy did it. I just think they want to close the case out. There's another black man going.
And it's easy to say he did it because he's dead, so we don't have to do no work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, they just, oh yeah, he gone, so we're going to say he did. Not trying to do none of that. I want to see the text messages. I want to see the evidence that you have against this young man. I want to see it. I want to see it all. Cause I don't think it was him. In my heart, it just don't even feel right. And as a mother, as a parent, you know when something's not right.
Right. That hurt my heart.
I will get into more details, but
Yeah, no.
that's not for public.
Yeah.
knowledge,
Right. It's not.
But yeah,
It's not.
it's hard. It's hard.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Well, you will always, 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 always is in my prayers. I will continue to pray for you. I will continue to pray for
Man,
you, your strength. Like,
I greatly appreciate that.
you gotta definitely go to therapy, continue to go to therapy, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
You stronger than
I
you stronger
appreciate
than
it.
you know. You strong, way stronger than you know.
I try to tell myself that all the time. That shit is hard.
You are way stronger than you
Oh,
know.
sorry, my mouth.
You are
Sorry.
way stronger than you
I,
know. Way stronger.
mm,
Like you've overcame abuse, domestic violence, child abuse, rape, like molestation. I know they all under the same. Being homeless, parents dying, his son being killed, cousins being killed, niece being killed,
you know what I'm saying?
grandbaby, not to mention that, that was on its way here, didn't make it. That's a lot. That's a lot for one human being. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
All I can do is just say thank you, God, for every time you open up these two little dots.
Well, that's it. And you gotta continue to stay prayed up. And that's it. You're gonna be good. You're gonna make it through.
Yeah.
Of course, you'll never. That'll be a hole or a pain that will never, ever, ever go away. Like that'll never go away. That'll never go
All
away.
right.
But you're gonna get stronger. You'll get stronger.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for sharing your story. I know you can't really get in, you want to get into more, but you still healing. They're still all new and fresh.
Yeah. Thank you all for calling me. I appreciate it.
All right.
You welcome.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? Every time somebody tell their story on here, it's like, just say wow. You know. But one thing I say is like they here for a reason. They still here.
She
You know what I'm
gotta
saying?
be.
We still
Girl,
here
that
for a
just brought, when
reason.
you just said that, that just brought tears
You
to
know
my
what I'm saying?
eyes.
They
Like
they
she
here
gotta
for a
be.
reason because I look
She
at it like
gotta
this.
be. Yo, that's a lot.
I look at it like this. She may help somebody
That's
out
a lot.
that may come through that situation. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how God prepares you in life in this journey
Mm.
and has you different things. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's journey is different. But everybody can be helped by, you know what I'm saying, by your story, your journey. Because think about when you shared your story, how many people you didn't help. You know what I'm saying? In your situation where you know how what you deal with on a day by day situation, you know what I'm saying? And how, you know what I'm saying, you're a testimony for a person, you know what I'm saying, for people. Everybody has a testimony in the story, you know what I'm saying, that it overcame something and we still here. Cause I look at it, man, I was thinking about my friends, man. It's a lot of my friends are gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. We still here. You know what I'm saying? We still here. Our job ain't over. You know what I'm saying? Our job ain't over. You know what I'm saying? Our story, we're gonna help somebody. She's gonna help somebody, you know what I'm saying, with the things that she went through. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna help somebody. This is a living testimony. You know what I'm saying? A living testimony. You know what I'm saying? So our next caller. Got our next caller.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Look, I'm like, I don't know her number by heart.
Oh, you don't?
So,
Oh, you got it in your phone. Oh, the
Yeah. Look, my eyes all blurry.
Oh yeah,
I can't
I
really
got
see.
you. Hold I got you. The Instagram went off
It went
too.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll save it. You got it.
But no, it's right there in front of you. I'm not
Look,
even gonna
my
mess with it.
thing-
Last time I don't know what the
'Cause it
fuck I
went
did,
off.
and you like
All
it's
right.
not there no more. So be sure to subscribe to our page while we getting these numbers and
Y'all,
stuff
please
together
do.
and everything.
Yeah.
So
Shit. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me. Give me a second. Thank you.
For real. I guess while we waiting on this, we're gonna go on to this next little clip, and
Well, I
we'll
get
be
the
back.
second caller's
Yeah, while
number,
we get a
y'all.
second caller.
I'm Dr. David Thomas. I'm a practicing psychotherapist with the Whitford Thomas Group in Tampa, Florida, here to discuss the symptoms of anxiety. When we talk about anxiety, before we kind of go into the symptoms, let's look at what creates anxiety. I think many people believe that external events create the anxiety. But interestingly, the perpetrator is ourselves. It's our thinking that more directly influences anxiety symptoms. We use, in my office, cognitive behavior psychotherapy as an approach to help people to challenge and dispute the thinking that drives the anxiety. When we look at the thinking that drives anxiety, we really want to look at the tendency for individuals to look into the future. You cannot experience anxiety in the present. It's always in context to the future. And so we build a story in the future, we give it a bad ending, we catastrophize or awfulize about it, and then our tendency is to somehow believe we're not going to be able to cope or deal effectively with that anxiety. So thinking really drives that anxiety. Now, what are the symptoms that are oftentimes associated with the anxiety? Well, when we think about anxiety, we think about a kind of a heightened self. So the body seems to get really juiced up. So we see heart palpitations, we see perspiration, headaches, muscle aches. We tend to see behaviorally isolation, avoidance. From a thinking, feeling standpoint, we tend to have this sense of doom, that kind of the world is ending, so to speak. We don't have a sense that we're going to be able to cope effectively. Other symptoms associated with anxiety can sleep disorders, eating issues. Some people escalate their drinking, tend to increase their drinking because alcohol, for all practical purposes, does medicate the system. So
Yeah, we they with that copyright crap. We was trying to play the little clip. Huh? Yeah. We're gonna do the caller, the little clip. Oh man, this just tripped me out. How everything is so public, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, you can't even help people. You know what I'm saying? They thinking you on the innocent.
Yeah.
Man, we trying to educate innocent.
They don't want the education though. That's what they
Exactly.
don't want us
That's
to be
what it is.
educated.
That's what it is. And I'm gonna hit it.
Okay. My mic not on though. Now, yeah, I don't hear it. It don't sound like it, not like it was at first. Okay, now.
Hello.
Hi, Dondra.
Hi.
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
You nervous? Hey, y'all. This is Miss Dondra Harper. And she was another one of our special guest callers who also wanted to share her story with you guys. So, Dondra, you want to take the floor?
Huh?
You have the floor.
Hello.
Yeah.
We can hear you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, no. So you can go ahead. I think we can I think if you got the show on, we can hear your feedback.
Okay, let me cut it down.
Okay. I think that's good, right? You can hear? Yeah, you good.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, so you can start, Dondra. We introduced you. I don't know if you can hear that part.
So it's on anxiety and
Panic attack.
what was the other one?
With
Panic
panic
attack.
attacks.
Panic
Yes, ma'am.
attack. Oh, well, I really think mine's happened like 3 years ago
Mm.
when my mother passed. My mother passed 3 years ago, and it still feel like it happened today.
Mm.
Being so, she was my best friend.
She was my sister. She was my everything, and I still ask God why, but who am I to question God? Um,
Right.
because I still ask, why did she leave me so soon? And I ask that because I'm the only child.
Mm.
Oh my.
I have no siblings, so I tend to like hear her voice sometimes.
Wow.
If someone ever tells you that someone that passed that, and you hear them call you, yes, I didn't hear her call my name plenty times.
Wow.
Sometimes when I go to talk to my husband, I get ready to call my mother, and I ask him, "Did you hear that?" He's like, "You get ready to say your mother's name." So with that, I get anxiety attacks. Anxiety attacks where I will get real nervous. My heart will start pumping real fast.
Mhm.
I get the sweats. So and then I can feel the spasm in my back. So when I feel that come on, I have to sit down and take several breaths in
Right.
and out to calm myself down. That is a terrible thing when you know that it was just you and your mom,
Yeah.
and she passed away. I lost my dad when I was 8 years old,
Mm.
Mm.
so I don't have neither one of my parents.
I'm so
So it's
sorry.
me, my husband, my grandkids. My grandkids bring all the joy to me. My husband is always there for me
Mhm.
when I'm going through, but sometimes when he see me go through, he just let me go through because some people just don't know what to say when they see that person going through.
True.
Right.
True.
Right. Right.
So and it's just that being so talking about it now, and it's like, I got butterflies in my stomach
So do you
because
think
it go
talk?
ahead.
No, I was just want to say. So talking about, do you think talking about it help you a little? Like.
Talking about it really helps. When it first happened, I went to counseling. I went to a one-on-one counseling, which to me didn't help because it was just me and the counselor.
Mhm.
So I wanted to be in a group of people that was going through the
Mm.
same thing I was
Right.
Mm-hmm.
going through.
Right.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Roberta's house.
Oh, okay.
So I went to Roberta's house for counseling, and that's like a 6 week course, and it's a round table, and it's everybody that's going through death,
Oh,
whether it's your
wow.
mother, your brother, your siblings, your husband. So when we talked about death,
Roberta's
we
house.
talked about how it affected us and who was the person in the relationship to us. And one of the questions they asked me one time was, how did I feel now since my mother was gone? I told them that I felt relaxed and I was stress free. And I was stress free. So they looked at me like I was strange. So I had to explain it to them. I told them that I was stress free and I was relaxed because I didn't have to run back and forth to the hospital
Mhm.
anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't have to come home and cry anymore because my mother was in pain, or when was she going to leave me? And so they started understanding more why I said that.
Right.
So it's it's just so it's unreal. I still can't believe that she's gone.
I'm sorry to hear that. I really am.
And before that, like 26 years ago, I lost my daughter.
Mm.
Oh,
Not to the
wow.
streets, not to the streets, not to violence. It's just that I can't carry kids. And I always look at other people when they get pregnant for as the ones that was, addicts or alcoholics. And they go the whole 9 months.
Mm.
And then being me, I was healthy, wasn't nothing wrong with me. And I couldn't go past 5 months. So then when I lost my daughter, um, the nurses came to my room and said, you want to come and see your daughter for tonight because she was a preemie, 1 pound, 5.5 ounces.
Mm.
So I was like, not yet, not yet. So I finally went to see her, held her, and then I went back to my room. Hours later, they came back and told me that my daughter passed.
Wow.
So all I could say is, can
Wow.
I go home? Can I go home? They was like, we can't let you go home. You have to talk to someone in the morning.
Wow.
So that morning came. My mother and my husband came to pick me up, which they never knew. I called no one. My husband thought that, she was a preemie like my son was. I was going home and I was coming back to visit her. So once I got home, I gave my husband a picture, and he was like, you're going back to see our daughter? And that's when I bust out and said she died.
Wow. I am so sorry. I'm sorry, y'all just got me so emotional. Like that, I'm
and
so
I always
sorry.
wanted the little girl. I always wanted the little girl. My son, which now is 32, he was a preemie. He wore 2 pounds, 5.5 ounces.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then, this 3 years ago, we had 3 deaths in our family. The first of that year, 2016, was my grandfather. He died of natural cause. He was 94. And then I had a cousin who got killed. He was in his 20s. And then October 2016 was my mom. And it's so crazy because I went back and forth to the hospital to see her. And this particular night, I did not hear the telephone ring when the hospital called. Every other night, I heard them call me to give me the updates on my mother.
Right.
But this particular night, I did not hear the phone ring.
Wow.
So when I got up, I looked at my phone. I had 6 missed calls from the hospital. And right then and there, I knew what they was going to tell me when they called. And I thought it was going to be really hard that I had to plan my mother's funeral. But I did it by the grace of God.
Yes.
With my family and my husband.
Yes.
But I still sit and think about her each and every day, especially when the holidays come.
Yeah.
She died in October. November was her birthday. November was Thanksgiving. And then it was Christmas. And every Saturday, me and my mom got up and went shopping every Saturday. No matter where we went, it was every Saturday. And especially when the holidays come. So now when the holidays come, I don't want to shop. I don't want to go outside. I just want to be left alone and be in the house, which I know that's not good.
Right.
But sometimes I just don't want to be bothered at all. Sometimes when I work, I just sit there and they ask what's wrong, and I don't want to be here. And then I get up and I go to the bathroom because I know I'm about to shed some tears, and I don't be wanting people to see me cry. But they say let it out. Don't hold it in.
That's right. And that's all advice I keep giving to my friends. Let it go. Whatever your emotion is, whatever you feel, whatever you got to feel, because that's how you feel. That's how you got to feel. You're going to get sick, and can't nobody tell you, feel how you feel. I don't care if you got to cry. There's 1,000 people right there. If you feel like crying, cry. Like right now, y'all just made me just want to continuously cry. Because I couldn't imagine. And just when you think you're going through something or dealing with something, it's always someone else just going through something that seems like so much heavier.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine.
Correct.
Yeah. That's how I can relate to that, because like on New Year's is hard for me because I lost my mother back in 2009. And we would always call each other on, when the new year come in. And I found myself like, damn, I need to call my mother. My mother been dead over 10 years. So I feel you what you're saying with that.
It's nothing like that mother's love. That your mother. It's some people might take it different, like when they father passed. But when your mother passed away,
I'm telling you,
that's like your all in all.
It felt like
best friend.
It felt like I died though. You know what I'm saying? It felt like a piece of me died because this was the person. You know what I'm saying? My first everything, first person I sang, first person. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I died for real. I swear to God, I did.
And it's us people that still have our moms that we really take it for granted. And granted, we may not have perfect mothers and moms that we're not so proud of, but they're still here. And I think we should really cherish that. Like my mother complained a lot about because she don't hear from my sons every day. Like they don't call me. She may talk to them once in the blue or here there. And I think that's important.
Yeah,
that's important.
I kept my mother's phone up in my phone for so long. For some years before I deleted, Kept that in there so long. You know what I'm saying?
My mother's cell phone number is still in my phone today.
Mm.
I had that in there for so long, man. I swear to God.
I'm sorry. Y'all have to deal with that. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. But you know what? That was my biggest fear, though. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, that was my biggest fear because I always knew everybody has to go. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, when she passed, I'm like, wow. Like, what she was just saying, like, for us with the relief, I felt somewhat like a relief. Like, you know, like, wow, you know, it's happening. I'm going through it. Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that was my biggest fear.
But no one can never tell you when you're going to get over it because you never know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can be good today and then tomorrow you can be back at the same point that you was when she passed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so strange when you get that feeling. It's just you get this feeling that overcomes you that you can't explain when someone coming to you and asking you what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You can explain it to them, but they will never understand until they've been through what you've been through. I always tell people, like, if they lose their parent, like I had a coworker lost her mother, and I told her, I know how it feels to lose a mother, but I don't know how you feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't never tell a person how they feel. You can tell them how it feels to lose a loved one, but you would never know how they feel. All I can say is, people, you need to get some counseling. You need to go to counseling. You need to talk to somebody. You can't always try to deal with it yourself. Some things I do try to deal with myself because I don't want to talk to nobody. I get to the point where I don't want everybody to know my business.
Same thing she said prior to the caller before you said.
You know what I'm saying? But you have to release it in order for you to feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. But we
so
were talking
sometimes
about like a mental constipation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A mental constipation. Right. Yeah. You know.
So when y'all say though, like, you know, because it's, you know, you don't want certain people to know your business, is it because you don't, like, just don't, you know, because you have people that just care, I guess, because they just more so being nosy, not really caring, but just being nosy, or you just don't want people just, you know, that to know what's going on more so, if I'm answering the question correctly.
Right. I think more so people what's going on because I don't know, they might look at you different.
There you go. That's it. And that's why I asked.
They might, you know, that's like with people with certain illness and stuff. They don't want let nobody know because people might look at them different. And all along, you getting help.
Yeah.
Right.
And right now, while I'm talking, I'm helping myself.
Right. Right. But no, and that's why I asked that, because a lot of people say they don't tell because that's what they're afraid of. People want to look at them differently. And like you say, even with illnesses and disabilities, because even like, you know, dealing with my situation as far as with my vision, sometimes I don't, and my daughter asked me like, why sometimes some people you might say, because some people I might say, oh, well, you know, I just recently, I might say something like, and I more so do this with like Uber drivers or people I don't know or I don't really trust you, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what's going on because I don't want you to have that, you know, one up on me. So I may say something like, oh, you know, I just recently had a LASIK surgery, so my vision a little blurry, or, you know, so can you help me do this? Or and she's just like, well, why you do that? Or why you just don't tell everybody just straight up what it is or what's going on? But I feel like I can't do that.
You can't.
And I feel
because you never know.
No.
You might tell somebody, they might try to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's happened. And it has happened. It has happened. It has happened.
Wow.
It has happened. It has happened. Whether y'all believe it, it has happened.
Wow.
Yeah, it's happened.
And like with the world today and all this murders and all that, even now when I go in stores and shopping, I get, I don't know, what anxiety, because first when somebody walk up on me, you know, because there's so much going on now.
Yep.
You can't, drive through the street, you don't know if a bullet gonna come.
I just said
so there's your anxiety. There's your anxiety again.
Yep. I just said that.
Or you sit there and you about to have a panic attack at the light.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That
because you don't know what's going on. Here comes this crowd of people, and you don't know what's going on. So you about to have a panic attack because the light ain't changing fast enough so you can go.
And that is so real. And I'm telling you, my friend of mine, one of my good friends, she was in Walmart shopping for the Christmas holiday, and she ended up having a panic attack in the store while she's in the aisle. And it's so crazy though, because ain't nobody, she said, not one person helped her. She said they looking at her like, what, you not gonna move out my way, like you my way, because she was gasping for air at this point. She's like out of breath, and she said she was kind of leaned over a little bit, and like people was looking at her like she crazy, or like you not gonna move out my way, or like excuse me, you in my way. Like nobody tried to help her, nothing. Like, you know, they had to end up calling the ambulance. I think somebody worked there, and that's how the ambulance or something, they took her because she ended up going to the hospital. But yeah, that's crazy. And Dondra, I was just telling Roman this a couple of shows ago where we were talking about the anxiety. Not, we wasn't even talking about anxiety. We was talking about crime in our city. And like I like getting oxtails from the spot up on Park Heights. And I was sitting in the car while the person went in to get my food. And I'm like, I don't know whether I felt like I wanted to lean my car seat all the way back, because I'm like, I don't know if somebody's going to start fighting. I don't know if they're going to start shooting or straight. But like it's anxiety just being outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like I needed gas yesterday. I rode by the gas station. I say, oh, there's no cars there. I'm not stopping there.
See?
There's no one there. So I'm not getting no gas. I'll get some gas later.
Right. But then when you see the ones with the crowded gas stations, I don't want to stop there either, because I'm thinking something might jump off.
Yeah. There's certain gas stations I don't go to.
It's crazy.
I just don't go to.
Damn if you do, you
and
damn
I'm like
if you don't.
the opposite. If I see a crowd of people, I'm going the opposite way.
Right.
That's
so
what
that's why I was saying to what she said, because some people see crowds and don't want to go. But then you feel a little more secure when you do see I don't know. It go both ways.
Yeah, I know. This is a great thing that y'all have going on. You know, getting on here talking about different things, anxiety, panic attack. I know last week I watched, it was depression.
I love that.
You know, it's really, depression. This is really good. That's something that people can get on here and they talk and don't have a problem with explaining their feelings. You know, it's like getting something off of you, releasing it.
Exactly.
But first and foremost, you trust and believe in your higher power.
That's right.
And pray that God will work it out. He will work it out.
He will definitely work it
all the time. He will work it out.
He definitely will. He definitely will. He definitely.
You gotta have that faith. You gotta have that faith in Him. Have that faith. But I know sometimes we don't even want to have the faith. You know, we asking why not you?
Yeah, like we were just saying.
I'm so thankful and grateful that I had the opportunity to share, because somebody else that's listening, it can help them.
Right.
Someone might have lost their mother, their father.
You got somebody sitting right here.
11 testimony.
Right here.
Yeah, 11 testimony.
Correct.
Right here.
11 testimony.
Yeah.
And I never knew, how I would feel. I lost my father-in-law. I had to do the obituary for that. Wow. And I read the eulogy at his funeral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And see, that was something I didn't, when I was telling my story, I had left out, and I didn't know until somebody pulled me up about it. Like, you didn't even tell that part, and that probably plays a major part. I was a daddy's girl. Like, I loved my father with I was a daddy's girl. And when my father passed, he passed from kidney failure. But when he passed, we was at the house. And I don't know, still to this day, because I'm an adult, and I'm going to ask my mother and my grandfather, and maybe my brothers, because they might not know, and I don't know. But he had kidney failure, so I think he started drinking. I think he did started drinking again while he was going through dialysis. And someone was saying something like, they think somebody might have gave him some drugs or something as well too. I'm not sure, but I was 12 years old, and we saw them like carrying him out, like he was dead. Like we saw them carrying him out of the house, And even in the ambulance, they were trying to like, what is it called when they trying to bring them back to life? Resuscitate him.
Mm.
Yeah, and they couldn't. And I was just standing there, like, and I saw all of that. I saw all of that, and someone was telling me that could be traumatizing too, or like have effect on my life now that I don't know about it.
That's the same way I helped carry my mother's body out the house.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We found the dead in the house.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I helped carry her body out the house. But,
Wow.
So, I feel what you're saying about that. Like, until you just said something, I thought about that situation. Like, wow, certain things, man.
We gotta talk about it.
Yeah. This is very therapeutic. This is very therapeutic.
It is.
Very therapeutic.
It is. Dondra, and thank you so much. I don't know if it was any more you wanted to share. I know you had another story too. Maybe you can call in on one of the other topics, because we're doing a whole list of things that just fall under
this month,
mental health. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if Rome got time, we might even do one during the week, or even just over the phone.
We can do another one because we're getting close to the event. So man, we can do another one whenever you're available. Just let me know, and we can just
just let me know.
Okay.
I most likely would like to call in, or
because I think a lot of people
Rolanda,
like,
you need it. My husband can tell his stories too.
And that's just what I was about to. I was just about to say that, and I think a lot of people, if they could hear his story, like especially for men, I think that would be a big help.
Yeah, as far as the relationship and how you had one person's back.
Yes.
I've been through. That part.
Well, maybe we can do that sometime during the week.
Okay.
Maybe sometime during the week this evening. I mean, during the evening. This evening.
Yeah, during this week. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Let us know. I'll let him know. And, he got a powerful story.
Yeah, he do.
Okay.
Yeah, he do.
Okay.
And I don't even know all of it. I just know some of which y'all, have talked about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, Dondra. And we look forward to talking to you this week. I'll keep you posted on whatever day we decide that will be good for us.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know ahead of time.
Okay. I'll be more than welcome to speak.
All right. Thank you.
Whenever y'all need me.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
for calling.
Any advice you want to give real quick before you leave to anybody?
I just want, if you're going through any anxiety or panic attacks, you're not alone. Don't feel like you're alone. If you think you're alone, pick up that phone and call someone. You can even call 911. You need to sit there. First of all, take deep breaths so you can go through it and get through it. Them deep breaths help. And I'm always available. I mean, you can contact Rolanda or Rome whenever you feel as though you need to talk to somebody. I'm here.
Thank you so much.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you so much. That is so awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Wow.
That just got me all in my emotions right now.
Yeah.
I swear.
But you know what? But like we was talking about, this show right here, man, it's real therapeutic because it helps me a lot. You know what I'm saying? And my thinking in my life, in my not so perfect life. You know what I'm saying?
Because
some people think their shit is all that.
Yeah, they do.
Man.
Yeah, they do.
Know what I'm saying?
And
but
people have no idea.
I like this show too. Like we said, we just lay all the cards on the table. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we not come at we ain't Dr. Phil in it.
Not
because
at all.
My wife watched Dr. Phil. She like it, but I can't stand that mama. Because it's like he does no wrong. Like his life was so perfect. But whatever. If the real story come out, it probably be some shit. Anyway.
Well, and his wife, seriously, but like
you know
you said,
what I'm saying?
It's the real deal over
you know
here. We ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing. We show our flaws, we
exactly.
Open about it.
And he's a man, so I know everybody he has a flaw. So it's like, I put it like this on head, we don't judge, we don't try to look down on nobody, we don't try none of that, man. It's like we going through a lot of that shit ourselves.
Literally.
Going through it ourselves. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think this show is real therapeutic, man. It make me think because just sharing the story with a young lady made me think about a whole lot of stuff with my mom and what was going on, you know what I'm saying, in my situation, which it may been that's something that needed to be pulled back up to be dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Because we tend not to deal with a lot of situations and just smash it
Push
down.
it to the back. Yeah.
Hey, put this one on it. Oh, I got robbed. Put this on here. I got a pistol. Put this on here. This girl done.
Keep piling on top of more, and then until you explode.
Until you explode.
Yeah.
So I mean, the best thing I say is go out there. If y'all feel that, get help. You know what I'm saying? Get help. Like tomorrow, I tell my business to take my son to his first therapy meeting tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? For him to get, you know what I'm saying? For him to get something. Because I think he needs, he at the age he needs to talk to somebody or try to. So it's like, man, wow.
That is awesome, y'all. This was a great show.
Yeah.
Of course, we went almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's worth it. We invested in ourselves and others, and we want to help people. And it's crazy because, like you said before, we've been saying this since from our first show. We've been saying that's what our format was going to be. That's what we wanted to do, and we kind of steered off to doing other stuff, which is cool. Still to talk about other things sometimes, but for the most part, we wasn't really doing this.
No, I think this our lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we tried all the news gossip and all that stuff, and it didn't feel right.
No.
It didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is our lane.
Yep.
I think this is our calling. It's like you said, that's what we said we was going to stick to.
And that's what we ended up at, even not intentionally.
Not intentionally, yeah. But, I think this, really our thing. Because when we were thinking about different topics, and we like, we need to talk about mental health because we talked about domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? We talked about, I guess, relationships and stuff like that. So it's like, real life stuff that real people go through. Because even the motherfuckers got money go through the same shit.
All the time.
Go through the same. Go through this.
Did he just, no, he did. He just posted something the other day, about 2 days ago. And he was just talking about, even me, like I'm wealthy, I'm rich, and I go through it. I mean, he was talking about mental illness.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about how he, last year, he was basically talking about, not to make this about him, but last year he was just talking about how it was just a real stressful and mental depression. He dealt with depression, PTSD, and all that stuff last year.
Yeah.
And just, money doesn't make it
better.
Doesn't make it go away. You
Nah.
have access to get that good help.
Mm-hmm.
But, other than that, it doesn't make it better.
It doesn't make it, no.
I done spent millions, and a nigga still sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Seriously,
Yeah.
that doesn't make you, it doesn't.
You can't fill that void.
That
ain't nothing there. You know what I'm saying? It will never be filled.
Nope.
But I'm thank everybody for tuning in to this show. You know what I'm saying?
Much.
And everything. We tried a different format. We on live on YouTube, which YouTube on some bullshit about some clips. But
they definitely changed up a lot.
Yeah, I see. They switched up. We trying to help, but we ain't trying to do nothing. So anyway, you know what I'm saying? I guess we're gonna go back to live next week.
Facebook Live, y'all.
Next week, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look, she said,
they switch up the algorithm. Yo, we gonna do a shoot this shit about that.
Okay, yeah. What you was telling me? Okay, yeah.
It
okay,
is, and I really believe that. It's too many black bloggers coming out. Did that go down?
Yeah,
that counted down too. We weren't on that for no hour. But I said low battery.
Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'm your host, Rome.
I'm Rolanda.
And it's the Be More Open podcast. Be sure to tune in and check us out every Sunday here
each and every Sunday
on
6
Facebook
p.m.
Live. And subscribe.
And share, like, comment, share. Like, let us know you was here. If you anyway.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.